This week, I took a look at The Crew, Wild Run Edition by Ubisoft. The Crew is a fairly massive open-world racing game spanning an abridged version of the United States. Whether or not you want to hit the racetrack, do a backflip in a monster truck, or just go for an off-road jaunt in the desert, The Crew has it for you. Visually, The Crew is pretty, but fairly standard for a racing game these days. The cars look good, but it's the weather, sunlight, and off-road conditions that really enhance the graphics to a higher level. The grip to the road, or dirt, is accurately altered by the appearance of snow or rain, which really makes Detroit feel all that more awful, and relay the message that you never want to bring your Lambo to the Rockies. Of course, as is with most racing games, the contact with buildings and trees can be fairly glitchy. While you can drive straight through certain fences, lampposts, and even large moose, bears, and humans, which I tried a lot, without a hitch, the start of the metal rail on the highway stops you dead. In fact, when you crash at high speeds, the game tends to rub it in your face that you just done killed yourself by displaying a slow motion video of your crash, which is all the more frustrating with the glitchy terrain that it caused it. The story for The Crew follows your stereotypical racing storyline where, you guessed it, you're working for the FBI as an undercover street racer while getting revenge on that guy who killed your brother and stole the reins of his all-powerful and incredibly violent racing gang. You must work your way across the US from Detroit to New York to LA, accruing enough rep to gain higher ranks in the gang until you have enough power and evidence to take down the big dog, cleverly named the V8. Fast travel comes in clutch when exploring the massive US, but you're limited to the places that you've already traveled to, or where nearby airports or train stations are. So while the US is sized down to be manageable, at times you may still be forced to take that 30-mile trek through the snowy wilderness in order to get to a race. The police force in The Crew is severely lacking. Though there are occasional missions where you must evade them, it's incredibly easy to get away from the slow and poorly organized local PD. You can attract cops by causing severe amounts of damage to your surroundings, but in my hours of gameplay, I did not manage to actually get one to chase me until I physically ran it. In comparison to some series as Forza or Gran Turismo, The Crew doesn't have nearly as many cars and variety, but it covers the basics of old muscle, bikes, supercars, and your typical street racing tuners. However, the car customization system is quite interesting. You pay for the template of a car rather than the singular car itself. So when you unlock, say, a Skyline, you can now purchase 5 different types of racing presets, including street, dirt, performance, raid, and circuit, and then with the Wild Run Edition, also monster, drift, and drag. Making a car faster is a slow but steady process. When you complete a race or experience challenge, you unlock a single part that, depending on your performance, is bronze, silver, or gold quality, and choose to install it to your current car or send it to your HQ for a different ride. Unfortunately, you have to complete the race again if you want another copy of that part, which is fairly frustrating when you want to level up your cars evenly. The car ranking system works on a scale of 0 to upwards of 1,000, and is a bit confusing to start, but you get used to it eventually. Racing mechanics are intuitive to your average racing gamer. They utilize arrows, timers, and checkpoints throughout different types of races and challenges in order to get you from point A to point B while doing some cool drifting, crashing, or whatever floats your boat. Or car, I guess. Probably the best feature of The Crew is its variety of types of races. Each race or challenge is associated with a different preset for a car. So in raid vehicle missions, you get to slam into other cars. In Monster, you get to be a freaking monster truck, which is awesome. And in Street, well, you get to street race. So, while you may be tired of hitting that same old Forza racetrack over and over and over again, The Crew gives you a nice mix of things to do. The online gameplay is also impressive, with plenty of PvP lobbies and fellow racers driving all over your same open world map. There are also summits every month, similar to Fast and Furious's Race Wars, where you can compete against the best players for a worldwide ranking. You also gain perks such as daily payments by completing lengthy online challenges to gain a higher ranking in your selected online gang within the game. The Wild Run Edition comes with a bunch of perks that frankly it wouldn't be nearly as fun to play without. These include the aforementioned monster truck mode, drag, and drift modes, as well as the ability to choose a racing crew from across the US to help you on your way to being that racing gang box, or just be a little posse and flash you cool rides and score some babes. So, if I were you, it's definitely worth a few extra bucks to enhance and enrich your overall fantastical racing experience. Overall, we give The Crew a 7.25 out of 10, and Wild Run Edition a 7.75 out of 10. Time for me to get back to getting that Lamborghini Mercy I've always wanted. Back to you guys.